What was your favorite bedtime ritual when you were a little kid? For many of us, it was story time, a time when a parent, sibling, grandparent, or loved one took a book off your childhood shelf, opened it, and took your imagination on an adventure. Little did your young self know how important the story time ritual was to your early childhood development, as well as how much it benefited your intellectual, emotional, and behavioral well-being for years to follow. In January, when our team, the Impactarians, joined forces, we sought to work on a project that would have a long-lasting impact on the well-being of Denver's future. Where better to focus than on supporting the growth and development of children by working with Imagination Library of Denver. Before we get into who and what Imagination Library of Denver is, let's introduce our team and one of their favorite childhood books. Haley Lucero, Josh Wise, Molly Koska, Tyler Hood, Elizabeth Cushing, and Morgan. Who is Imagination Library of Denver? Launched in 2015, Imagination Library of Denver is a book gift-giving program that mails free books to children from the birth to the age of 5. Imagination Library of Denver is the independently funded, Denver-focused chapter of the International Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Its mission is to support early childhood development and promote kindergarten readiness by providing free access to age-appropriate books to children during their first 5 years of life. Since starting in Denver in 2015, Imagination Library has delivered thousands of books at no cost to children in the Denver metropolitan area.
So within this project and within Imagination Library Denver, we had a couple different challenges that really resonated with awareness, enrollment, and sustainability for the program. And so one of the first things that we wanted to do is we wanted to learn how we target and reach families that need books the most. We wanted to raise awareness and increase enrollment for the program in order to get those books in kids' hands earlier and more often. We also wanted to engage the community and find community partners that wanted to help us extend the capacity and the scale of the program. Next, we wanted to prepare for a statewide program expansion. Right now, the program was locally organized. We wanted to expand that and expand the overall reach of ILD. And then lastly, we wanted to raise financial resources for continuation and stabilization of the program. Our work consisted mainly of 3 different buckets after we reviewed those challenges and had meetings to discuss our opportunities. Those different buckets were marketing and branding, enrollment and funding, and communications. Within the marketing and branding, we wanted to redesign and enhance the website for marketing efforts, obviously, and also to be a little bit more user-friendly for the users within this program. Within enrollment and funding, we wanted to reach out to those stakeholders that had already worked with ILD to interview and analyze what they had to say about the opportunities that exist to increase that scale and the enrollment. We also wanted to look at corporate foundations and grants that may be available to ILD, and then partnership and outreach strategies with local businesses that may want to look to partner with ILD that either have a related or aligned business in the same arena as ILD. Lastly, we looked at communications and developing an editorial calendar, and then also a process timeline with roles and responsibilities for structure moving forward.
In order to help Imagination Library Denver target and reach families that need books the most, raise awareness of the program, increase enrollment, engage community partners, raise financial resources, and prepare for a statewide program expansion, we did a top-to-bottom website redesign. This includes ease of access of enrollment, more visible donation buttons, blogs, increased SEO, and an overall more modernized look that will be a foundation for Imagination Library for years to come.
In order to assist Imagination Library with its enrollment and funding, we conducted stakeholder interviews with community members and Imagination Library partners around the city. We use this information to provide specific and actionable ideas and advice to the leadership of Imagination Library, and we also used our partnership outreach to identify new and creative funding sources that Imagination Library had not previously made use of. That has culminated in a $10,000 grant that was awarded just recently, and a number of additional grant awards that are pending notification and which Imagination Library would not have had access to or been aware of prior to our involvement.
Our next focus area was in communications. We developed an editorial calendar, a process timeline, and a newsletter template to help streamline their social media strategy. One of our main tasks from the Imagination Library of Denver was to create a 12-month perpetual calendar of important Durham Musing celebrations, like Dolly Parton's birthday, National Book Day, and Colorado Postal Workers Day, to help deepen their engagement with the community and solidify their social media strategy. Our team created a 12-month calendar with monthly themes, key dates, messages and activities, and suggested post content for their newsletter, blog, and social media related to those themes. We created a production process timeline to guide the Imagination Library team with a concrete plan to schedule out their deliverables so they aren't scrambling to come up with content for the next month. Our guide starts 45 days ahead of the publishing date, so they have plenty of time to prepare their content. Last, we gave the Imagination Library a plug-in template that they can use to create their newsletters. Consisting of 6 buckets, we thought the areas of most interest to participants are the latest Imagination Library of Denver news, articles related to early childhood literacy, or Dolly Parton, participant story highlights, board of directors, staff, volunteer, or corporate sponsor stories, upcoming events, and a parent's corner. We believe these 3 tools will make it easier to plan and gather content ahead of time, and posts will be made on a regularly scheduled timeline, which will lead to greater awareness and information about the Imagination Library of Denver. This will increase engagement with members and participants and hopefully lead to further donations.
I'm Sarah with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library here in Denver, and we are just so thrilled to be part of Impact Denver this year. The last 6 months have been really incredible and has really shifted our organizational culture. We did have some marketing projects, a website redesign that we had applied to work on, which we've completed, and we're so happy to have just a bright new website. And but the thing that I think that's really exciting is just having such a high caliber group of people talking about our program, being also passionate about early childhood literacy, just really gave us that extra sense of confidence and just revitalization. And I think that is also something that's so important, is that when you are a really small team of 2, it can get kind of bogged down in the day-to-day things. And having a team for the last 6 months just talk about and be enveloped in your passion and organization, I think really really changed the trajectory of the organization. And I think we have a stronger sense of who we are as an organization. They helped us define who we are and who we want, how we want to be in our community and how we can better serve our community. And I really think that it really wouldn't have happened in the amount of time that it did. And we're so grateful that our team just totally blew it out of the water. And we're so grateful to Impact Denver, and highly recommend our team, and we can't thank you enough.
Hi everyone, Haley here. I'm going to show you how to enroll your child. You are going to hover over the program tab, click register your child, give it a second to load. You will be able to read and view the terms and conditions of signing up your child. You're able to check the availability in your area based on zip code, check the eligibility for your child, and enter in the parent information. This form will go directly to Imagination Library. Don't have children? Consider donating to Imagination Library. Once again, as simple as it is to register your child, you just select the Donate tab, allow a second for the page to load, scroll down, and you can donate anywhere from $14, $30, $150, $300, $1,200, $10,000. You can even select your own amount here.
What is the secret ingredient for our success? The answer is, of course, each of you. Now, you have given the love of reading to millions of children. They'll be better for it, and so will our world.